Alright, welcome back to the channel. So today we will be doing that front splitter install. It's that long box there, got the brackets in the back. So first thing we're going to do is go ahead and get the front of the car in the air. Make sure you got that parking brake on. Go ahead and get it up in the air. We're going to get the wheels off the front, and then we'll start getting the front bumper off. So that means I have to get my tow hook off and start getting all the hardware off the top here, undone around here, and then we'll get that wheel liner out once we get the wheels off. But we'll go over that once it's up in the air and the wheels are off. Alright, a little update where we are. So front wheels are off. I did go ahead and start pulling all the plastic clips from the inside of the wheel well here, and then I got under the front of the vehicle down here and started undoing all of the 8mm and 10mm screws in this. Once I do that, these two pieces here pretty much just fell out, so those are out. I am going to work on getting the rest of this out. It's going to be some screws up here, there, and there. So we're going to get those out, and then the back side there to get the skid plate here completely off, and then we'll work on getting the bumper the rest of the way off. Alright, so once that is out of the way, we'll get into this wheel well here, where we will get behind the wheel liner here, and there are those two nuts right there, the copper looking ones, and we're going to get those two out because that's what is holding the bumper into here. So I did already remove the two from this side, and you can see it is now loose here. So I'm going to go ahead and knock out these two as well and get the bumper loose. Alright, so for those nuts, I just used my 10mm wrench here to get those off. You can probably get more of the clips out and get your impact in there, but I didn't really see the need to. Just loosen them up with the wrench and then put them off with my fingers. So next, going to be pulling these guys out of the grill here. So you have one right there, and then one right there, as you see. So you just pop these out with a flathead, and then you'll have access to both of those bolts, and that should be the last two things holding this on. Alright, so bumper is off, as you see here. Don't forget to disconnect your stuff for your fog lights and side running lights. What we're going to do is we're going to disconnect this guy here. That was our horn from the crash bar here, so we got that off. We're going to drill that hole out so it's a bit bigger, as well as the one on the back side here. So this one and this one, yeah, that one right there. We're going to drill out bigger, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side as well. That's where our hardware is going to hang from there. This side, since my intercooler is over here, excuse my legs, I'm going to have to make sure that I get these hoses to clear. Might have to pull a little slack down. I do have a zip tied up here just so it was more out of the way, but I might have to pull those down and kind of get them further inward so they're not in the way of that bracket that should be sitting right about here. Because I don't want those pinched. Obviously it's a air to water intercooler. The water isn't flowing, it's not cooling, so I'll have to take a look at that as I get the everything ready. Alright, so I got those holes drilled in the front bash bar here, as well as the frame back here. So we're going to take our bolt with our welded bolt with the little piece here on it. We're going to put it in the frame here. We're going to have the long side toward the back of the car, so it'll sit like this inside. So we're just going to get that in here and that wiggle it into place. Eventually wiggle into place. there we go. You can see it hanging down now. Got that piece facing the rear of the car, and I got the one in that side already. So the shorter one on the bracket, so doesn't have that long tab on it. Obviously we'll go in the front bar here, so we'll get the nut off the bottom of that, and then we'll get those hung on where we drill those holes there, as you see, and then we'll get this put back into place. So I am gonna go ahead and do that now. I'm gonna adjust a couple things with my intercooler and my pump and everything while I have this off, just to make sure everything does fit well, and then I will go back together with this. Alright, front bar loosely in place again. I got my intercooler and pump and everything back in place as well, so a couple extra steps for me. I haven't tightened it down all the way. I do want to go over, there are a couple plastic clips down here. They are attached to this bar. They go to the frame, so that is going to hold you up if you're trying to pull this off. So make sure you undo those before trying to pull the bar off, and then make sure you put them back in place as well. So got everything back hooked up under here. I did make a little adjustment to the bar here, where it had a tab down right there for the horn, which it doesn't have one on this side. You can see it kind of how it hangs down like that, and then the horn bolts to it. I did go ahead and cut that off there with my cutting tool, just so my lines here have a little bit more space. So if you do have the air-to-water supercharger, that is kind of what I did. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this finished bolted in place. I do have my bolts coming through here and here on both sides, so that is good for the brackets to hook up to. So once I get this tightened down, I can kind of get those in place. Alright, so I got the first one here, just kind of loosely hanging there. As you can see, I got lots of threads left to go up on there. It is recommended to use blue thread lock on those threads before tightening up, so that's why I just have it hanging for now until I get the thread lock on them. So sticker on the inside here, lip going out, and then you know, your rounded side here, your quick release side on the back over here. So I'm gonna get the other side to sit there and dangle as well, and then I'll go grab my blue Loctite and we'll get that tightened up. Alright, got my blue Loctite here. I'm gonna go ahead and get those on the threads, and we'll get the brackets tightened down, and then we'll be finished with the bracket part here. Alright, good. So I got the blade here. I did pull the quick release mounts off in order to get them put on here first. So we're going to push those through the bottom here. As you see, I don't have them all the way on yet. I just have them kind of in place. So just enough to kind of stick through there, get these lined up. So I want to go ahead and get it put up there and try to make sure I have it straight before I snug everything down, and they're a little bit harder to adjust at that point. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go ahead and mount it up, take a good look at it from the side and the front, and make sure that it is even. And then once I do that, I'll pull it back off, get everything tightened, and then I'll get back from there. Alright, so we got the splitter blade set in place now. Hardwire is tight for these, and I went ahead and tightened these up as well. So these guys are the only ones that are loose now. You see it still moves around. Other side is loose as well. I'm gonna go ahead and try to fit the bumper into place, and you know, gauge where I need to have this adjusted, if I need to adjust it at all, and then we'll go from there. If it fits perfectly, we'll go back off with the bumper, snug that up, and then we will go back on with the bumper again. Alright, so I did adjust the splitter. That's where it's going to be sitting from now on. Went ahead and tightened everything up, got the bumper kind of slid in place here, started getting it kind of fastened. Went ahead and got the ones behind here and got them tightened up. Went ahead and cut the fender liner in here, so it would fit with the splitter, and got it put back in place as well. Also did the same thing on the other side. Just cut the bottom part off so it would fit, because the brackets are in the way now. So got those back on. I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting everything tightened up. Got to get all the bolts put back in the top here as well. Make sure you put, your fog lights and your side markers. Make sure you plug those back up. I am going to go ahead and rotate my tires because it's been a minute. So front to back on these, as those do need to go in a specific direction. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. I'm going to go ahead and rotate those tires, finish getting this cleaned up, and then I'll get the vehicle back down on the ground, and we'll kind of take a how she is sitting at that point.